Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for another postcard of the week. And this week, I'm really excited to introduce our speaker, Ashli Ahrens from Little Rock, Arkansas. She'll be speaking to us at our February 3 Wichita Postcard Club monthly meeting. That's going to be right here on this same station, and it will gather at 1:45 and welcome everyone, as they come in and try to introduce them to each other. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, just uh, recognizing their voices and seeing their faces. And then we see each other at some point at a postcard show or a gathering or a picnic or out to dinner or something. And all of those things will click in, and we will have already been friends because of being on a show like this or whatever. But do join us for our postcard club meeting uh, February 3 on a Saturday afternoon at 1:45. And the meeting itself will start at 2 o'clock. But come early and get a good seat. Actually, I'm glad to introduce you here and to just let you tell a little bit, show a postcard, or tell a little bit about your presentation that you'll be having on Saturday.
Sure thing, Hal. Thanks for the invitation to speak to the club. I certainly enjoy being a member of the Wichita Postcard Club and am happy to get to share a presentation of mine. And I'll talk about the presentation just a second, and then I will show a postcard I want to show. The title of my presentation is The Accidental Deltiologist. And I think most of you watching hopefully know what a deltiologist is. If not, that's a postcard collector. That's me and Hal. So the title is the accidental deltiologist, how living in a 1920s hotel launched a hobby. And really in parentheses, I say more than one hobby, because that's true. So it's really my origin story that I'm going to share of how I unexpectedly became a postcard collector and am now a dealer and have now been to a postcard show and many other things, but I want to share that origin story. I hope everybody will find it interesting, and am of course going to show some postcards along the way when I'm giving my presentation. And so the postcard I want to share today for the postcard of the week is not of the hotel where it all started, but it's a postcard that I got really early on when I began my journey into collecting postcards, and it's one I'm really excited about. I loved it when I bought it, but then in subsequent years, I've learned more about this card and it makes it even more special to me. So I want to tell you about it. So on the front of the card, the design is one that I think is really beautiful. And you'll see that it is a multi-view card is what we call it. And it's in the design of a kind of an Art Deco design, butterfly, woman's body, and then butterfly wings. And in each of the wings, there is a photo of different buildings in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where I live. And I'm happy to say that 3 of the 4 buildings that are shown on this postcard are still existing. There's one that was a Masonic Lodge downtown in the bottom right, as you're facing the card, bottom right corner of the wing. That one burned in the early 1900s, but the other is the state capitol, the first big post office in Little Rock, and then the county courthouse are still existing, and they're in really good shape. So that makes me happy to look back and realize we still have these buildings. But the postcard design itself is elegant and beautiful, and I love it. And I was really happy to find it. I think I got it on eBay, probably now 10, 19 years ago when I first started getting into collecting postcards, and was really happy to have it because I live in Little Rock. And but what I learned in later years when I was doing more research into the postcard hobby, I read about this postmark that's shown on the reverse of the postcard. And I'll talk more about this on my talk, so please come to the program. But this postmark on the back that you see there that has a diamond and diamond shape is not a very common postmark at all. And it is tied to Little Rock and one other city in the United States. And I'll tell you more about that. So that's a little teaser. But this postcard is special to me for the front and for the design, as I said, but also what I learned about the cancellation and postmark on the back. And you see it's an undivided back, so it's an early card. This one was postmarked in 1906. So it's one of the older ones in my collection, and one of many, many, many in my collection now. So I just wanted to share that card with you, and I look forward to talking to the group on Saturday.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ashli. I love that cancellation. And I've already learned that only 2 cities had it, and I didn't know that. But and the card itself, I so wish we had one of those butterfly multi-image postcards for Wichita. I collect my hometown, Wichita, Kansas, and I have not seen one yet. But like I told you earlier, one may show up this afternoon. I go
I hope it
through
does. I hope
yeah,
it does.
the eBay grouping of Wichita cards at least once or twice a week, and it takes a few minutes or even a half an hour or so sometime, and check and to double check and see what I have and what I need, quote.
Right.
Anyway, that's part of being a collector. Thanks,
Right.
Ashli. Fun to see your great smiling face again.
Thanks, Al.
Ashli was a first-time dealer at our show this last October, and we look forward to having her back every year if things work out for everyone.
I hope so.
Thanks for
Thanks, Al. It
coming.
was a lot of fun.
You bet. Thank you, Ashli, for being here today. And to remind you again, it's February 3, Saturday afternoon at 1:45 p.m. Central Time. Do those adjustments depending on where you live and where you're operating from on Saturday afternoon. See you then, and thanks for everything.
Thanks. See you then.
You
Bye-bye.
bet.